What really destroyed the greatest footballer of all time? Diego Maradona. Worshipped by millions, but haunted by demons no one saw coming. A small boy danced with a ball as if he were born with it attached to his feet. His name, Diego Armando Maradona. From the beginning, it was clear he wasn't like the others. Scouts who saw him play were left speechless, calling him a miracle of nature. By 15, he was already making his professional debut for Argentinos juniors, stunning crowds with moves no one had ever seen. But what no one could predict was how Diego's unbelievable talent would collide with an unstoppable, chaotic spirit that even he couldn't fully control. And that chaos was just getting started. Fast forward to the 1986 World Cup, Maradona's playground on the global stage. In the quarterfinal against England, the world watched in disbelief as Diego scored two of the most famous and infamous goals in football history. The first, a blatant handball, punched into the net. When questioned, Maradona grinned and claimed it was the hand of God. It wasn't just a goal, it was a moment of rebellion, a message from a man who refused to play by anyone's rules. But if you thought that was shocking, what happened just minutes later would seal his legend forever. Right after the hand of God, Maradona scored again, this time weaving past 5 English players in a move so breathtaking, it's still called the goal of the century. Diego could create magic that defied physics, and then, just as quickly, plunge into chaos off the pitch. His life was a constant balancing act between brilliance and self-destruction. Parties that lasted for days, shady friendships, run-ins with powerful figures. Diego lived like a man who knew he was burning the candle at both ends. And the fire was only growing hotter. By the late 80s, the cracks in Maradona's life were impossible to hide. Rumors swirled of cocaine abuse. Reports claimed he was entangled with the Neapolitan mafia during his time at Napoli. At the peak of his fame, he was spiraling behind closed doors. Arrests, failed drug tests, and public meltdowns followed him like a shadow. Yet, somehow, when he stepped onto the pitch, he could still perform miracles. It was this heartbreaking contradiction, genius in public, torment in private, that made Diego so magnetic. But darker days were waiting around the corner. In 1991, Maradona's world came crashing down when he tested positive for cocaine. Suspended for 15 months, he became a symbol not just of wasted potential, but of the unbearable pressure that fame had heaped on him. After brief, troubled returns in Spain and Argentina, Diego's body and mind struggled to keep pace with the myth he had built. Every comeback attempt felt like watching a fallen king trying to reclaim a crumbling throne. And just when people thought they'd seen the worst, the final act of his life began to unfold in ways no one expected. In the 2000s, Diego's appearance shocked the world. Overweight, frail, and clearly struggling. He bounced between rehab clinics, mysterious hospital stays, and bizarre public appearances. His inner circle became tighter and more secretive. Reports claimed he was isolated, manipulated, even held hostage by those supposed to care for him. And then came the surgery in 2020, a brain procedure that should have saved him, but instead set off a chain of events that would leave fans devastated. But the real story of Diego's death would only get murkier. On November 25, 2020, the world stopped. Diego Maradona was gone. Officially, it was a heart attack. But almost immediately, accusations began to surface. Fans and family members claimed negligence. His doctors and nurses were accused of malpractice. Some reports even suggested he was abandoned in his final hours, left without proper care. Lawsuits exploded. Whispers of conspiracy spread across Argentina and beyond. And to this day, people still ask, did Maradona really die of natural causes? Or was there more to the story? Despite everything, the scandals, the heartbreak, the endless controversies, Diego Maradona remains untouchable in the hearts of millions. To Argentina, he was more than a player. He was a force of nature, a flawed hero who dared to defy the world. No matter how dark his personal struggles became, his magic on the field shone brighter. His story isn't just about football, it's about humanity in its rawest, most brilliant and most broken form. Because Diego Maradona didn't just play the game, he became something bigger than life itself. And even in death, that legend is still growing.